A couple of weeks ago, I was able to finally see the movie Batman vs. Superman. In one scene, General Amaja says to Lois Lane, "Ignorance is not the same as innocence." That phrase hit me like a lightning bolt, and I found myself disturbed. I couldn't figure out why at the time, and that bothered me. Following the murders of Alton Sterling and Philandro Castile, I was engaged in a civil discussion with a friend of mine through private messaging on Facebook when I mentioned the greed and racism so prevalent in our country. He responded by saying, "Racism? I don't think so." I sent him a link to a book called The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness, and asked him to read it. He blew off my request, arguing that racism is basically a trivial problem in America. I simply responded with one sentence, "Please read that book." To which he replied, and I quote, "Sorry, dude, even the description makes me roll my eyes. If one is born into tough circumstances, it's not one's fault. But if one stays there, it is. Our country provides the most opportunity for anyone of any color, more than any country in the history of mankind. Time for the one love comment to be something positive rather than the Al Sharpton approach." Suddenly, the scene from Batman vs. Superman returned to my mind. I know that this friend of mine is highly intelligent. I believe with all my heart that he can't see racism from his white suburban Utah neighborhood. But the scene from Batman vs. Superman replayed instantly in my mind. Ignorance isn't innocence. I remember having that exact same stance, that if someone is struggling, it's their own damn fault. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I was once incapable of humbling myself enough to consider the possibility that this is a very convenient argument as a white man raised in suburbs. It took incarceration for me to be exposed to the truth. Here are some hard facts. 5 times as many whites use drugs as blacks, but blacks are 10 times more likely to go to prison for the same practice. Our black brothers and sisters make up roughly 10% of America's drug users, but 60% of its prisoners on simple drug possession. African Americans serve roughly the same time as in prison for simple drug charges as whites do for violent crimes. But it isn't just the prison time where 200,000 men are being raped each year. It's the felony label that assures legal discrimination around housing, employment, voting, jury duty, etc. 1/3 of all African American citizens can expect to be essentially locked out of our society for behaving better than their white counterparts. Many of us recognize that a 5-year mandatory minimum on a first-time drug offense is way too long. But how many of us are willing to look at the fact that a felony is a life sentence used to justify legal racism? The natural reaction to all of this ugliness is to just say, can't we all just get along? It's easy to just change the channel or focus on love and light. The easy road is the one where we convince ourselves that sending good vibes to the universe will solve all of our problems. But until we're willing to go into our shadows and shine the light, the disease will remain. My life's mission is to co-create a world of compassion through divine activism. But the shadow is that I create a world of rape, murder, and slavery through my silence and excuses. It is impossible to live in a world of love by ignoring the hate. We can get through this together, but not through ignorance. One love.